It's April. It's Sunday. What to do? Hey, I remember. The Marietta House Museum is having their annual March Through Time. That's perfect. I'll take my little Canon HD camera and shoot some video. Here's some scenes of what I saw.
I grab the blade, and he manages to rip it out of my hand. I might be in trouble.
So you take a look at they were dangerous. That's why the Army used to do it.
It's on display at a museum in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Oh yeah.
And the items they have it in the photograph that they're displaying it with are it's actually cavalry armor. And so I almost wonder if it's because it has the same sort of balances as a medieval cavalry sword.
Yeah, it's extra long.
Type 12A. If you hold it back here, it's got that same weight to it. So I almost wonder if that's
mounted on fire.
right.
But the thistle was a Christian symbol for Christ, basically. It's
What country are you from?
The Roman Empire, the
Oh,
late Roman Empire. That was about 180, and we are 1080, 1060.
Does that make you from the Byzantine Empire?
That's right, Byzantine, but that's a modern term. We call ourselves the Romanite. But you have pikemen, heavily armored infantry with pikes like me in the front, holding our shields and a spear, right? And then right behind me there'd be another, and right behind me another, and then right behind him there would be 3 archers. Okay? And then right behind him there would be 2 javelin men, peltstats. Okay?
Dad, get that smile off your face. I mean, you know, it's just weird to have that.
I can use the haft to knock them down. Or I can strike with this spike at the gaps in the plate, which are protected only by mail. So I really can't punch through this with the point, but I can do some damage through here. Any questions about the poleaxe?
Must have been very expensive to make one of those.
Yes, it's a gentleman's weapon.
So you can get a lot of neat sound out of this.
Fire! Fire on line. We do have some stay.
1882 Egyptian campaign,
Oh,
Coldstream Guards officer, and this is our officers' mess. This is sort of how the other ranks lived, and this is how the officers lived. Obviously, I chose well.
you're with the officer.
Yes, I'm a lieutenant. My major is inside drinking his G&T. And the reason why we drink those is for medicinal purposes, defeating malaria and scurvy. Because there's lime juice, vitamin C, there's quinine in the tonic water. That's why all the officers would drink gin and tonics.
See, with the IRA guys out in the column, when they traveled, they didn't have a supply train of wagons behind them. They had to be able to move across country very quickly to evade capture. But they'd be staying at this farm, and then 3 days ahead, these guys are making arrangements for them to stay at the next farm, and then on back and forth. To give you an idea, all of the support that had to be done, in World War II, 20 years after this, a U.S. infantry division was about 15,000 men. We had 12 men behind the line for every guy that carried a rifle. All of that support, it's administrative, it's intelligence, it's money, it's medical, it's clothing and support, it's special services. All of this had to be done, whether it's an army in the field for the United States and France, or whether it's the IRA in their own backyard. And mostly it's the women doing the work.
Yeah, Kuman Naman was the National Women's Organization, and we supported the men in the field because they could never go home. So we had to bring them their fresh clothes. We had to do all the spying and the reconnaissance, tell them when there would be targets of opportunity.
Stuff, all that had to be done.
Yeah, medical, bringing the dead bodies back to the families, also hiding extra ammunition and guns that were captured that they couldn't carry and didn't need to carry, and then hide it, and then give it to them when they needed to be resupplied. So all of that.
What we're more interested in is your ability and willingness to talk to people, to interpret the history rather than just walk around and look funny, you know. But to be able to talk about it,
Any amount of
to talk
research
intelligently and do the research, and to be able to back it up.
Right.
To be able to answer detailed questions about the period. That's the important